of an East Coast shutout in the front row. Ian Calderwood in car number 13, the big XF Falcon. Noel McGrath in car number 14, right alongside him from Victoria. Ross Bullimore from Queensland in a very fast Scorpion, very well presented too. And Trevor Johnson, the first West Aussie on the front 2 rows. So TJ in with a strong chance. Greg Walling in that beautiful car. And Neil Johnson's one I'm watching out for. And I am sure he'll put in a big run. Very nice looking car, brand new Commodore. Wayne Millman is a hard charger too. Looks like we're almost set for a start. The Bunbury Nissan Pace vehicle moving off the circuit. One of the smartest looking Pace vehicles in the business. John Day looks pretty happy. The East Coast guys off the front row. The Falcon alongside the Cortina. Oh, some heavy work going into turn number 1, and Trevor Johnson could almost have the race lead. Doesn't quite get it. See Bullimore working the inside run as they head down the back straight. Some heavy work going on in the first corner. Still leading this one at the moment. Ian Calderwood in car number 13. Back to Johnson as Neil Johnson exits stage left. Trevor Johnson and Neil Johnson. So it was Johnson and Johnson onto the infield. So at the moment, it is still Calderwood leading this one. Oh, there's cars going around everywhere. Bullimore loops it. Have a look at them trying to work themselves out. Yellow lights are on. Why that would be. Okay, as they head into turn number 1, Richard Nelson running strongly too in car number 32. Look for his roof number as they head down the back straight. Good scrap going on between Noel McGrath and Ian Calderwood. Out in front, Trevor Johnson, the first West Aussie, splitting him up. Nearly heads exit stage left again. Exactly the same place, and things are not well with Trevor Johnson's Moylan Silos Cortina. Calderwood continues to lead from McGrath back there in second. Nelson a strong drive to third. Greg Walling up very high. Neil Johnson into 4th place. Look at this battle for the race lead as through on the inside goes Noel McGrath. The 2 Victorians really charging at it out in front as the big Falcon starts to make a bit of smoke coming onto the main straight. Neil Johnson, a horror run midway through turn number 4, drifted back a couple of positions. Nelson, this is a strong drive from him. Millman up to 4th, Walling for 5th. Neil Johnson go back to a strong run for Purser. Dennis Clark and Bullimore back at the rear of the field. But have a look at this man out in front, Ken, running the half-track run. Very fast-looking Cortina. Car number 14, Noel McGrath. Okay, Calderwood, although the car's smoking profusely, it doesn't appear to be affecting his performance. Nelson is beginning a charge here as they head down the back straight. Looks for the inside run on the big Falcon. Oh, just blows through. Too easy. Oh, no, the exit. Oh, Calderwood did a brilliant job to avoid heavy contact. He did actually get into him, but nothing on. Johnson tried to come through on the inside. Calderwood was heading infield, and there's some heavy contact going on out there. This is heat number 1 of the Modified Sedan Championships, brought to us by Landway Engineering, and Ken, it's turning out to be a hectic one.
It is. It's almost a demo derby weight as they come around past Catalano Corner, and car number 14, Noel McGrath, has got heat number 1 wrapped up. I wonder what he's thinking right now. Please hang on, car, please. No doubt that's what's going through his mind. Richard Nelson, the WA car at 32, coming up in 2nd place as they head on down the back straight. A little bit of bumping and grinding. The Wallings car over there seem to be heading on and off the track. He's not going too well in this heat. Seems to be going all over the show.
Yeah, having a few dramas, but mind you, it is the first event of the night so far, and I'm sure that we'll see Greg Walling come back up a little bit stronger as the night wears on. In the meantime, still blitzing this field as McGrath is cleared the length of the back straight and then some on 2nd place, Richard Nelson. Wayne Millman is a strong runner from Collie up in 3rd. In 4th, from Leonora, Neil Johnson back there in about 4th place. Well, if we call Chad Johnson Mr. Sleek, does that make Neil Johnson Father Sleek? We'll have to ask him. Greg Walling coming through on the inside of Purser in car number 11. These are marathon heat races. They're set down over 12 laps, so it's a long way around. No need to rush things. You've got plenty of time. In the meantime, there's good scrap going on for the minors. Neil Johnson and Wayne Millman, who in turn are both making ground on Nelson, who goes way too high onto the main straight. The Centura of Nelson just being clobbered by Wayne Millman, and the Sigma just storms through on the inside. Johnson trying to have a piece of him as well as they head down the back straight. Our race leader, Noel McGrath, is enjoying this well out in front of a very potent Cortina. as he heads into turn number 1. Millman goes high. Johnson tries to get through on the inside of Nelson. Very sideways on the main straight. A lot of power underneath the bonnet of the 8 Commodore of Neil Johnson. Look at this scrap for second. The battle for the race lead is over. Put down your glasses. Noel McGrath is blitzing this field. But look at Neil Johnson on the inside of Nelson now. Johnson had some problems earlier in the night, but is storming back to a strong placing in this one as Nelson goes high again. Walling now slips up to 4th as Johnson goes through on the inside of Millman for second. So what a drive this has been. Imagine if Neil Johnson hadn't spun in the early laps. White flag coming out, and this would make Noel McGrath a very happy man. The number 4 Cortina, proudly sponsored by Pennzoil. Neil Johnson holding down second and doing a good job of it too in the freeway. Avis car back then to Millman. Walling, we go back to Richard Nelson, who's faded a little bit in the dying laps of this one. Back to Purser in car number 11. It's storming out of turn number 4. Checkered flag at the ready, and what a great win for the Victorian, Noel McGrath in car number 14. Second, a strong drive. Neil Johnson, very hard charge from Neil Johnson in car number 22. We have to look at their roof numbers. The Commodore, we go back to Wayne Millman, Greg Walling, back to Richard Nelson. Car number 11, a strong performance from John Purser. Back to Dennis Clark. The Bunbury Nissan Navara moves off the second. Green flag's out. Robbie Hungens through into the race lead, but look at this battle. Well, it is on for young and old back there in second place at the moment. Alan Buckley having a strong run with the former dual Australian champion. That is Bob Walling. Look at this. Going into turn number 3, the big lime green XF Falcon of Rob Hungens, and Buckley just storms around the outside of him. What a great drive. Up into the race lead, the Shell Norseman 18 car back there in second. Bob Walling, 2 Commodores of differing model, and Bob Walling, a former 2-time Australian champ and a 5-time state champ, and Kent looking ominous now as he lines up the inside run on Buckley.
Absolutely, Wade. Boy, they're really flying this heat, that's for sure. They've picked up the pace, coming around a little bit wide there. And it looks like, yep, underneath he goes. Car number 4, Bob Walling, 2-time national title holder from Victoria, or New South Wales, excuse me, has jumped into first spot as they head on down the back straight. It's still very close. These cars are really moving. And into turn number 3 they go. Look at the back markers, though.
Yeah,
Very close.
I think this time might be considerably quicker than the first up heat, as Walling heads the fielder's fresh bred Commodore into turn number 1 ahead of Alan Buckley in car number 18 for second. Back to Rob Hungens. Daniel Amajuri, a young man in his first season of open modified sedan racing in the senior ranks. He's a former junior champion, turned his hand to seniors this year in the ex-Paul Peter Ellis, I should say, number 3 Escort. And very impressive car too. That is, of course, the car campaigned by the Wombat Racing team as Amajuri now heads infield. Bad luck for him. All strong work between Les Weston and Frank Doze. That won't go unnoticed. Walling continuing out in front, running the low line. And this is one fast combination. The very quick fielder's Commodore being piloted by Bob Walling. Mac there in second. Alan Buckley, what a drive it was from him early on. Rob Hungens in the Odin Radiators, number 2 Falcon. We go back to Frank Doze and the 41 Greg's Tyres, number 41 Cortina. Back to Les Weston in the 37 Commodore. But there are some strong runs right through the field, none more so than this man, Bob Walling, who owns the Fielder's Bread, the equivalent to Buttercup over on the East Coast. One heck of a race car driver, and his cat would be doing absolute handstands in the pits. Got a pretty unsupporter, strong family backing, and a Hollywood race team when they go out onto the track, that's for sure.
Some great racing going on there, Wade. Look at him go. Fielder's Fresh Bread. That's his name. Bob Wallings in car number 4, way out in front there. But Mr. Buckley says, I haven't got Buckley's at this stage. Around turn number 2, he goes down in the black machine, down the back straight. Still got about 100 metres on him, has Bob Walling. We go back to the back markers there as they head into turn number 1. Around they go. Whoa, they touch and come off. Not to worry. Bob Walling starting to lap the traffic now as he heads down the back straight in car number 4. Then we've got Mr. Alan Buckley coming second from New South Wales. In third position still Rob Hungens, I'd say. In the green Falcon, car number 2.
Frank Doze is back there in about 4th place at the moment. Les Weston having a good battle with Amajuri. We go back to car number 21. I've been dreading this all night. Chris Overall will say. I'm not sure whether it's overall or overall, but we'll use one of them. I'm sure at least one irate member of his pit crew will come up and see us as they run through turn number 3 and 4. What a drive this has been from Bob Walling in car number 4. We were saying he's done this on 2 occasions, won an Australian title as Overall's car. The thrifty, very nicely prepared 21 Commodore pulling up with a lot of problems. Robbie Hungens can soldier on a very big number 2 Falcon. That'd be like driving a tank around this place. Would not handle, but Hungens doing a great job. Doe's back there in the Cortina. 1 lap left to go. And I tell you what, this thing sounds like it's doing 1,000 plus revs. It really sounds like it's doing some work, but doesn't it get it all down in a straight line? Down the back straight for the final time. And heading into turn number 3 for the final time, our race leader, who will be our race winner, 2-time Australian champ and 5-time state champion, Bob Walling. Very good drive. Things to come, perhaps, from that particular driver. What a strong drive from Alan Buckley back there in second in car number 18. Rob Hungens, good strong effort in car number 2, the Rob Hungens Odin Radiators Falcon. We go back to Frank Doe's, the M&D Auto Engineering number 3 car. I would say we then go back to Daniel Amajuri in car number 19. Also out there, Murray Penn in car number 23. And what a great performance from Walling. Ominous signs for the opposition, with Walling in a mean mood and the fielder's fresh bred number 4 Commodore.
Anyway, they're away. Heat number 3, Shane Martin in car number 7 out in front. Oh boy, I'm staying out of this. Pretty heavy traffic as they head on down the back straight. Definitely Shane Martin sitting out in first position. He'll be happy at this stage. West Australian man, car number 7 in first spot. Look at the hassles and tassels and fights and all that sort of thing for second, third and fourth as they come around car number 31 in Peter Thayer. Boy, sounds like you've got a lip problem when you say that, doesn't it, Peter Thayer?
What were you saying?
Not for long, though.
As they head down the back straight, I was just watching as Steve Hancock tried a number going into turn number 1. It didn't come off. He went in coming in second, and he got spat out the back of the pack in no uncertain terms. They don't care if you're the state champ here. They just chew you up and spit you out like the rest of them. Martin is clearing away, but look at this battle for second. Peter Thayer skips clear. Phil Rose up to third place. Hancock round the outside of Talenta. Looks like we've got a car pulling up, going down the back straight. Everybody managing to squeeze through. Martin is flying in the Hills Wreckers number 7 Sigma. Around we got somebody going into turn number 3. We look like we'll cop a yellow in this one. We'll just wait to pick out who that driver was, but how was Martin's run on the front? And Steve Hancock got handed out some heavy work going into turn number 1, but didn't he come back?
Yep, there goes the John Day Ute. Go, says Shane Martin. Car number 7 hangs out there in front. Look at 31 right up behind him, though. This is going to be very close for second, third, fourth.
Oh, Hancock, what a run. Up to third. Well, again, this has been a strong drive from him. He had trouble going into turn number 1 on the opening lap, went probably as far back as 7th, but hasn't he stormed back up to third and looking to charge for the top 2?
I'd say he's going to be in the second spot sooner than we know. Very soon, in fact. Shane Martin sitting out there in first position, but boy, oh boy, not as good as he was last time round. There he goes. Straight through and underneath. Yes, indeed.
Well, Peter Thayer was pretty well held out to dry going into turn number 2. Phil Rose was able to slip through. So at the moment, we got a Sigma out in front from a Cortina, another Sigma and a Commodore. Back to the other Commodore of Ian Brims, performing very well in car number 36. We go back to Fish Talenta, Brad Ludlow, Glenn Smith, Rick Machete and Greg Oliver down the back straight. Going into turn number 3, Shane Martin out in front and doing it deluxe with Steve Hancock, our state champ, back in second.
I tell you what, I don't know how long Shane Martin's going to hang in there. Steve Hancock, the current WA champ, he will be right on the hammer. All this season at Bunbury especially, he's been a mile in front of everybody else. Down the back straight though, and Shane Martin's making me eat my words at the moment as he pulls away a little into turn number 3. Steve Hancock, current WA1 in second spot. Then we go back to Phil Rose and also Peter Thayer, who, well, looks like he's not going to sit there much long for Mr. Brims in car number 76. Boy, oh boy, there he goes into fourth position. And Peter Thayer going way too wide there, letting him straight underneath and back into fifth spot. So there we have it, a nice even tussle. But look at Phil Rose come up on Steve Hancock as they head out of turn number 4. Down the main straight, Shane Martin in first spot. Then we go back to Steve Hancock, Phil Rose, then the Brooms car 76, and Peter Thayer in number 3, I think it is.
Well, Shane Martin continuing to throw down the challenge here. Is always a fast combination, and especially on this particular circuit. And let's have a look now, because Phil Rose is really starting to give the Narrogin Wreckers Cortina of Steve Hancock a hard time. Martin has picked this track picture perfect as he guns the Hills Wreckers Sigma down the back straight into turn number 3. Has pulled well clear. I thought Hancock might have been making a charge, but if anything, Martin has answered that and then some. They are trying to come back strongly, but look at Ian Brims. Well, Hancock out of the race. The Narrogin Wreckers Cortina heading infield. That will hurt his chances dramatically overall in the points. You cannot afford to drop a heat like that. And Hancock, obviously with big problems, heads infield. Well, that's bad luck. What it does is it hands the race to Martin on a platter. Mind you, he's earned it himself. Phil Rose up to second. How about this drive from Ian Brims in car number 36? Well, Alan Blake said to me in the pits earlier that Brims got around here like a local at practice last night. And isn't he just smoking around this place at the moment? Checkered flag now at the ready for the local boy. Let's hear it for Shane Martin in car number 7. Good drive. Phil Rose gets second, but Ian Brims, car number 36, the Brims earth-moving Commodore. What a drive, Alan Blake. You picked his form to a T. Very fast time too. Martin, an absolute jet. Bad luck for Hancock. And heat number 3 brought to us by Bunbury Fuel Injection and Turbocharger Service, and proudly sponsored by Bunbury Nissan. And away goes our field. Bob Walling on the inside, Greg Walling on the outside. Richard Nelson tucked in there as well. Millman's come up to 4 as they head down the back straight. Nelson pushing very hard in there. So too is Penn as they head down the back straight into turn number 3. Murray Penn in car number 23. Look at this. Millman making a charge. The only West Aussie boy in the top 3, trying to split up the 2 New South Welshmen. The young Greg Walling, young at about 37 years of age, and his father at about 57, Bob Walling. And these two are going to run some team tactics here and try and block out the West Aussies. Millman's up to 3rd. Murray Penn enjoying a strong run. So is Amaturi, Rob Hungens. Go back to Les Weston and Dennis Clark. On the main straight, look at this. The fielder's fresh bred precision driving team. The 2 Commodores. Now, these aren't team tactics. I don't know what else. Look at this. Millman goes for the inside run. 3 wide down the back straight. And come on, West Aussies. Millman is trying to make a fist of this for the local stars. He's working hard on the main straight. Come on, Millman. He's really charging. Bob Walling still leading this one. But the West Aussie from Collie really started to make these East Coast guys eat their words. Greg Walling's back in 3rd. Millman, look at the long legs of the Bob Walling Commodore going into turn number 3. These V6 power plants, certainly no shortage of horsepower. Millman refuses to let this one go. Greg Walling trying to get back up into 2nd place at this stage. Back then to car number 32, Richard Nelson. Back to Rob Hungens, Murray Penn, Daniel Amaturi, Dennis Clark and Les Weston. And Bob Walling, can he withstand the Collie charge? Wayne Millman drops down a little low. The Sigma against the very big and powerful Commodore of Bob Walling. This is 12 laps. It's a long way around. Certainly Millman's got the time. They've spread out quite evenly now as they head down the back straight. Bob Walling probably settling down a little. There's hectic early laps where he's running with his son. He's had a moment. Here comes Millman again. So Bob Walling cannot afford to fall asleep at the wheel here, because Millman, the Collie Mitsubishi tire power entry, into the big chance. Amaturi has spun the Minicraft number 8 Escort, but is out of harm's way and the motor is still running. Well, Millman probably had to concede 2nd for a while, and then he saw Walling have a bit of a moment coming off turn number 4. All of a sudden, it was a totally different ball game. Dennis Clark and Les Weston having a good scrap as Amaturi rejoins the field. Richard Nelson, consistency, back there in 4th. In 5th, Rob Hungens. In the number 2, Odin Radiators, XF Falcon. We'll go back to Murray Penn, Les Weston and Dennis Clark with Amaturi. And Greg Walling. Now he's starting to come back. Well, this will be a hard charge from Greg Walling. He's all over the tail of Wayne Millman in the number 8 Collie Sigma. Not quite sure if Millman's car doesn't sound a little flat as they go into turn number 3. Car was backfiring a little bit earlier. Bob Walling in charge now. Courtesy flag coming out to Daniel Abajuri to tell him he's about to be lapped in the move-up track. And Wayne Millman has gone from the aggressor to the defender now, with Greg Walling sitting right on his hammer as they head down the back straight. Millman needs to resort to a defensive line. Greg Walling pounces. Well, he goes through on the inside, and Millman now forced to reassess his options. I'd say he was caught not quite aware, so he hit the slick line down low. And Millman now dropping back to third. The Walling boys reclaiming 1 and 2. Well, Bob Walling said earlier in the night that he was hoping for a 1-2 finish in the feature. And so as he heads on the main straight, 1 lap left to travel. Bob Walling really enjoying this. The dual Australian champ, his young son in car number 3. Greg Walling up to the second. Wayne Millman for third. Back to Richard Nelson, Rob Hunches. We go back to Les Weston, Murray Penn, Dennis Clark. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Yet another win for Bob Walling. 2 wins from 2 starts. He's done it well. Second to Greg Walling. Third to Wayne Millman. We go back to Richard Nelson and Rob Hunches having a great stoush for the Miners. Hunches trying to push through on the inside. Here comes the run. No, Nelson will get it from Hunches. We go back to Les Weston and Murray Penn with Dennis Clark in car number 39. Checkered flag is out. Well, come on, Bunbury. How about a drive from Wayne Millman trying to split up the East Coast Stars? Heat number 5 of the Australian Modified Sedan Championship, brought to us by Bunbury Nissan and brought to us this particular heat by Fencing Unlimited. Where are the Hancock fans? Off position 1 alongside Brad Ludlow with Phil Rose. I tell you what, these are tough heats. Onto the main straight we go. Brad Ludlow on the outside. Ian Brims in car number 36. We saw Brims in spectacular fashion in his first heat race appearance. Let's hope for the West Aussie's sake he's a little bit more subdued, because he's one heck of a peddler. Look at Neil Johnson on the inside. There is strong work back in the field. Our race leader is Steve Hancock. Brad Ludlow back in second. Phil Rose for third. Ian Brims for fourth. Look, there's some strong runs coming from back in the field here. Car number 14 won the first heat and did an exceptionally good job. And we're looking for stronger things from Noel McGrath in this one. Neil Johnson around the outside. Oh, there's some strong work here. Chris Overall in car number 21. Phil Rose has got a problem. Looks like it might even be a flat tyre. It is. It's a flat right rear tyre. And that's bad luck for Phil Rose. If you can, you want to continue around the outside and pick up the points for this. But our state champion from Narrogin, Steve Hancock. Weaving Stephen as they come off turn number 4. This man very talented behind the wheel. Young man, very determined. Ian Brims trying to make short work of this rookie sensation. Back then to Noel McGrath. Brims has got a problem. Well, the Commodore pulls infield. Bad luck indeed for Brims. This is a race of attrition. Hancock is leading. Brad Ludlow is in second. Look at Neil Johnson storming back through the field, trying to make a big move on the number 14 Cortina of Noel McGrath. We go back to a good strong drive. Car number 21, Chris Overall, back to car number 33 in your program, Ross Bullimore. And car number 11, John Purser. Well, Phil Rose staying out of harm's way. Hancock continuing to blitz the field. Brad Ludlow doing a great job in car number 15. Noel McGrath in the pencil, number 14 Cortina. Back then to the Commodore of Neil Johnson. Good scrap between Chris Overall and John Purser back in car number 11. And Ross Bullimore in car number 33. Onto the main straight once more. It's all Hancock enjoying a very good run. The Bob Flood Automatics Rambler. Jenkins car of Brad Ludlow, the son of Super Sedan driver Benny Ludlow, and has taken to this sport like a duck to water in only his first full season in motor racing. Brad Ludlow holding down second place in heat number 5 of the Australian Modified Sedan Championship, brought to us by Bunbury Nissan. So Hancock continuing to fly through this one. Down the back straight, puts another lap on Phil Rose. Narrogin Wreckers, number 7 Cortina. We see Chris Overall again going infield. Horror run for him in the early going. Hancock on cruise mode, but Brad Ludlow has not let him get too far away. Neil Johnson, the Avis Commodore. That is a fast car. Back to Noel McGrath in car number 14. John Purser in the Shark Bay Fuel number 11 car. Oh, Johnson's lost it. Has spun the car right at the exit to turn number 2 and handed McGrath third place. Brad Ludlow is making ground. Hancock's got a problem yet again. What bad luck for him. The car is pulling up. Oh, Johnson's come back onto the track. Brad Ludlow's about to make a pass down the back straight. Hancock's car is ailing. You wouldn't read about it. Brad Ludlow into the race lead. 17 years young, and Hancock goes infield again. Oh, that's desperate bad luck. What a race of upsets this one's been. Brad Ludlow is just cleaning up out here. This is unbelievable. Car number 5, the Rambler, out in front. Noel McGrath back there in second now. Johnson handed him third, and in turn, with Hancock's demise, he's been able to move up another one. 1 lap left to travel. What a drive this has been for the young charger. Brad Ludlow. Back to car number 4, Noel McGrath from Victoria. A long way back to John Purser in car number 11. What a drive this has been, race fans. It's his first season, and he's just won a heat of the Bunbury Nissan Australian Championship. Let's hear it for Brad Ludlow. What a great drive. How's the casual little wave to the steward just then? Noel McGrath gets second in car number 4. John Purser, a strong drive in car number 11. We go well back in our field at the moment now. Neil Johnson trying to storm back through to reclaim his position. Bullimore will get the next position with Sparks flying out front of the car. Neil Johnson disappointed in car number 22. Dispatch this one. Johnson on the outside of Buckley. This is some hard charging in the early heats of this one. Oh, ducking down low. Have a look at the 34 car. Very quick entry of Gary Pascoe. Oh, just storms up to the race lead. Thank you very much. This might be heat number 6 of the Australian Modified Championship, but I'm not daunted in the slightest. Oh, Gazza got a bit of a push. Johnson storms through. Martin's in there as well. So too is Thayer. Well, Shane Martin went across the front. This is heavy going. Johnson's in there. So is Thayer in car number 31. Car number 34, Gary Pascoe. That's a fast car. We go back to Alan Buckley, who I thought had a big chance in this one. Mick Rachetti back in the field. Glenn Smith, Frank Doze. Fish Talenta in there as well. And car number 35, Greg Oliver. Well, Martin continuing to lead from Peter Thayer. Oh, Trevor Johnson, very spooky. Pascoe trying to make short work of him as they go down the back straight into turn number 3. There is no place for the weak at heart. These guys know it's Australian title time, and you cannot afford to miss a place. Martin looking to make it 2 from 2 in the Hills Records. Number 7 Sigma, the 31 Commodore of Peter Thayer, as we see Pascoe having a bit of a moment coming out of turn number 2. The car has fired back into life, quite fortunately. The race continues. Martin in charge. The Combined Petroleum, Thayer Automotive, number 31 car. Peter Thayer under siege now. The Moylan Silos Cortina of Trevor Johnson. The car he purchased from Brad Blake last season. Alan Buckley back there in 31, the 18 on the roof number. And Buckley was very strong in his early heat and having a tough run this time out. Frank Doze and Mick Rachetti having a great scrap in the 2 Cortinas. We go back to Greg Oliver, Fish Talenta, Glenn Smith in the 25 Cortina, and Gary Pascoe. Well, he started like an absolute rocket, but the car has let him down a little in the dying stages. Doze and Rachetti having a great scrap. Look at the 2 Cortinas. Oh, Rachetti's got around. Oh, Fish Talenta right into the side of him. And we are under caution. There was a bit of contact going into turn 3 between Doze and Rachetti. Rachetti went around, and Fish Talenta did all he could to get out of the way. It wasn't enough. Okay, Martin initiates the start. Thayer will be in second. Johnson for third. Buckley for fourth. Back then in 5th place, it's Frank Doze. So Martin, that is a very fast Sigma he's got at his disposal. Buckley in the Commodore, Thayer in the Commodore, and the Cortina of Johnson splitting them all up. Frank Doze in the Cortina. Oh, Doze wipes the wall going down the back straight. A little bit of panel damage, but the car seems to be going okay as Trevor Johnson had a good look on the inside of Thayer. got a little bit spooky. Frank Does, Greg Oliver, Glenn Smith and Gary Pascoe round out your field as Martin heads down the back straight once more, totally in charge of heat number 6 of the Australian Modified Sedan Championship, brought to us by Bunbury Nissan. Onto the main straight. Laps are starting to tick by now. And Martin is enjoying this. Make no mistake about it. 2 wins from 2 starts. How could you not be happy? Down the back straight. Thayer has been consistent and rock solid for second. Not allowed Johnson to look through on the inside. Back in fourth, Alan Buckley, as Johnson's Cortina starting to make a little bit of smoke now. Frank Does in the Cortina having a good scrap with Greg Smith. Back to Gary Pascoe and Greg Oliver. On the main straight once more, and Martin is doing this too easily. Well, we said he was a dark horse for this event, and he's just stamping himself as a possible favourite. There's a long way to go, but with form like this, how can you ignore it? Look at this battle for second. Thayer and Johnson just going for it. Albany versus Calaveran as they head out of turn number 2 and down the back straight. Alan Buckley having a bit of a consistent run, although the car doesn't seem to be quite as fast as it was in that first heat, and I'd say he's got a few dramas. Martin nervously probably looking up at the steward's box, saying how many laps are left in this thing? Where's the white flag? It always seems like there's 20 laps to go when you're leading, and it always seems like there's never enough when you're not. Going into turn number 3, 1.25 laps left to go. Don Crombie will be a happy man to get this one out of the way, but he won't be quite as happy as Martin, who's still leading. Look at this battle between Johnson and Thayer. Hectic modified sedan action. Someone's car very hot out there. You can just smell the damage that's possibly being done to this engine. Let's hope nothing too bad. Well, what a drive it's been. Shane Martin, the number 7 Sigma, takes the win. Come on, race fans. Very fast car. The Hills Wreckers entry. Back to Peter Thayer. Trevor Johnson with smoke pouring from the tail of the Cortina. Back then to Alan Buckley in car number 18. Frank Does in car number 41. We'll go back to Gary Pascoe in the Wilson's entry. Back then to a good strong run for Greg Oliver in car number 35 and Glenn Smith in car number 25. Before the meeting, we spoke to Shane Martin and asked him just how he thought he'd go.
Yeah, not too bad. There's only a couple of quick ones from the east. The rest, yeah, can beat them normally anyway, so not a problem. We'll beat them.
It's a little switch. It's on the bottom and off on the top.
Thanks.
Way to go. Green flag's out. Well, 2 heavy hitters off the front row. Phil Rose on the inside against the Victorian McGrath. Oh, well done, Phil Rose. Here comes, this is a very strong run. Millman on the outside. Hancock goes with him. This is some very tough heat. Look at this. Johnson gets inside, nearly puts Millman around. Rose is leading this one from McGrath. We go back to a strong run from Ian Brims. Hancock, Millman, Johnson, Amaturi, Lumbo, and Weston. This is a strong heat. Down the back straight, out in front, the FRM Sigma, Phil Rose. Back there in second. What a strong run, Noel McGrath. Ian Grimm's back there in second. He's a make to make the move on the outside. Will it come off? Yes, it does. The East Coast Stars. That is a fast Commodore. Hancock's in there as well. Those 2, Johnson and Millman, well, with 2 DNFs to his name. Oh, how's the wheel stand from Wayne Millman in the Sigma? Down the back straight with 2 DNFs. Steve Hancock really is chasing a big result. He just chased the tail of Noel McGrath then as they come off turn number 3. Hit cannon into the back of him. So Rose running strongly. Hancock's through to third. Driving very aggressively. He knows he's got points to make up as Brad Lumbo heads infield. Oh, round goes McGrath in car number 14. So the West Aussies running 1 and 3 out there at the moment. We go back to second place. Ian Brims and the Brims Earth Living PP7 on the door and 36 on the top. And he's making the ground on Phil Rose. Hancock's up to third. Millman for fourth. Johnson for fifth. Back to Amaturi, Ludlow and Weston. Midway through turn number 3 and 4. Our race leader under siege now. Here comes Brims. Well, this is right on. Car number 36, Ian Brims from Queensland. Looking on the inside of Rose, who says, I'm not having any of that. Puts out a fiberglass fence. Oh, look at Brims on the outside. An obvious horsepower advantage. You can see just how fast that car really is. He switches back down low. Rosie won't let him through on there. On to turn number 1. Look at this. Amaturi spins out, but Brims, Hancock could get Brims at the same time. Well, the Queenslander needs to be very careful that while he's going for the big move on the outside, that Steve Hancock doesn't slip inside. Here it comes. Off turn number 4. Our race leader, Phil Rose, looking Prince on the outside once more. What a great race. Oh, Prince did it the hard way. Looking for the outside run. Phil Rose comes back at him down the back straight. What a great race. Phil Rose holding him out. They go into turn number 3. This is great stuff. Launching into the air. Phil Rose on the inside of Prims. Look at this battle for the race lead. The Commodore on the outside, the Sigma on the inside. Prims from Queensland. The local boy from Bunbury, Phil Rose, trying not to surrender, but Prims, a very fast Commodore, puts himself up into the race lead. Hancock, the car starting to smoke again. Let's hope his woes do not continue. Millman back in fourth. Lobo, Jury and Western, but look at this. Neil Johnson in there as well as they start to lap cars down the back straight. Prims slipped through under the traffic. Here comes Rose as well, trying to sneak through underneath. They go past McGrath. Johnson's tucked up in there. Hancock's for third. Courtesy flag now out to McGrath to allow him getting the loop aside through. The lap traffic is there. Hancock still holding on to third. Rose has not let go of the 736 car of Ian Prims, who has driven exceptionally well to work the outside run. One lap left in this one. What a great drive it's been from Prims. Out in front, the 36 Commodore has an unusual cone to it that bites in fast. Rose is held on desperately for second. Third is Hancock. This stage, I think Millman is fourth in the Conley Mitsubishi Sigma. Back to the bomb front automatics, number 5 Rammer of Flat Ludlow. Checkered flag is at the ready. What a drive, Ian Prims. Fantastic drive. 36 takes the win from Rose. Third will go to Hancock. Fourth will go to Wayne Millman in car number 8. We'll go back to Brad Ludlow in car number 5. Back to Daniel Amajuri, Neil Johnson and Les Weston, with Noel McGrath in there as well. As we go into heat number 8. Heat number 7 was proudly brought to us by Bunbury Toyota. Peter Cricky and all the gang at Bunbury Toyota, thank you for their support. Heat number 8 is underway now, sponsored by Make It Hardware, and Shane Martin is about to make every post a winner as he goes into turn number 3. Walling charging through there as well. Our race leader, the very fast Hills Wreckers Sigma of Shane Martin out in front. Alan Buckley back in second. Here comes Bob Walling looking for the inside runner, Greg Oliver. Also out there, John Purser in car number 11 as we see Glenn Smith retiring the Lewis Auto Restorations. 52 Cortina from the event. Buckley in second. Now as they come out of turn number 4 onto the main straight, Shane Martin has looked one of the real hot favourites for this title. Going into Saturday night's feature race, he can feel that his form has been outstanding. The car has been very good to him, and I'm sure that he is enjoying this. On the main straight once more. Very nice looking Hills Wreckers, FRM Swift's car. Look at this battle between the two Commodores. Walling on the inside, Buckley on the outside. Purser and Oliver having a good scrap as well. Look at the tyre smoke. Well, the former Australian champion not scared at all to show Buckley the right-hand side of his car. Buckley comes back at him now. Let's have a look at they run on the main straight. Walling's car is very fast. And the number 4 Builders Red Commodore storming up to second. Buckley will try to hang on, but that is a very fast Commodore in front of him. Look at Martin, he's absolutely bolted. He'll be sitting very pretty in the point standings, I can assure you. Probably be very close to top point scorer. Mind you, Bob Walling in car number 4 would be right up there as well. And look the goods. And back there in third, Alan Buckley. We go back to John Purser in car number 11 from Shark Bay. And Greggy Oliver from Coolgardie. On the main straight once more. Martin has looked so dominant this weekend so far, Ken, and I'm sure his form will carry on to Saturday night.
Absolutely, Wade. It's unbelievable. He must be miles ahead at this stage on points, especially over tonight's performance. I think he's won everything he's been in, hasn't he?
Yep, has not missed a beat. The car is handling like a dream for him. Mind you, I've been very impressed with Bob Walling too. Sure,
absolutely. He's been doing a lot of preparation in Bunbury, sitting down in Alan Blake Regging's workshop for the last week and a half. He raced at Claremont last Friday night and sort of got used to the West Australian tracks. Now doing very well at Bunbury tonight. but you can't put anything past Shane Martin. He is going really, really well. Unbelievable. His line, his car, the preparation. They say you win the race in the workshop weeks before the actual race. Well, the car looks an absolute treat, prepared wonderfully, and it really does show tonight. He's just going around and around very consistently, and that's all you've got to do. You've got to finish the race before you can win one. And boy, oh boy, just as I say that, he gets a bit out of shape.
Yeah, that's all the way to get Robert Chisholm death. He's running around through turn number 3 and 4 in about a half-track run. He keeps the car very straight. Let's follow his style. As he goes into turn number 3, he does keep the car quite straight. That way not washing off too much speed. You'll see him come off the turn. The car handling like a dream. Walling's making ground on him, but I fancy that time may well be the enemy of Bob Walling, who is battling very hard to pull him back. Alan Buckley's been consistent all night in the 18 Commodore. Back then to John Purser in car number 11 from Shark Bay, and Greg Oliver in car number 88. On the main straight now, 1 lap left to travel, and Shane Martin about to bring the house down. Yet another heat win. If he can hold it together for 3/4 of a rotation of Bunbury City Speedway. He heads down the back straight. This is the Make It Hardware. Heat number 8, his final appearance tonight. And Martin is going to go out in style. Checker flag at the ready. Come on, Bunbury Speedway. What a great night of racing he's put together. Martin gets the win. Second will go to Bob Walling in car number 4. Third across the line, we're going to Alan Buckley in car number 18. We go back to John Purser in car number 11, the Shark Bay Fuel and Service Centre. And back then to Greg Oliver, waiting on a start. Final heat. Heat number 9 for tonight. Super Sedan feature coming up shortly, but for this, it's the final chance to get those all-important points on the board. Down the back straight, Nelson's been in top form tonight. Oh, Bullymore having a few problems in the Scorpion. Didn't seem to be its usual devastating self down the straights. Peter Thayer is leading this at the moment. Oh, Nelson gave him one to think about. Out in front at the moment. Johnson's up to third. Hutchins is in there as well. So they head down the back straight, our race leader, Peter Thayer, one of the real characters of the sport, behind the wheel of the 31 Thayer Automotive car, and the Wicked Surfwear. Meanwhile, up into second. Look at this battle between the Centura of Richard Nelson and the Cortina of Trevor Johnson, who just moved him up track. Robbie Hutchins having a ball with the number 2 car. Let Greg Walling in there as well. Gary Pascoe, that car was very quick in a straight line. Let's have a look as he goes underneath Hutchins, who's a wily campaigner. Doesn't want to let him through. The big Falcon on the outside should have Green's Tough written on the side of it for the nostalgics as Pascoe gets through. Greg Walling in there with Bullymore and Doze. Back then to Murray Penn and Dennis Clark in car number 39. Going into turn number 314, our race leader, Peter Thayer, just propped a little coming into turn number 3. May have been just to stab the brakes, reassess the line, and get it back on track. Johnson, meanwhile, is made short work of Richard Nelson back to third. Pascoe's up to fourth. Walling has slipped around the outside off. Pascoe heads infield, so Walling picks up 2 positions in 2 corners. Doze is battling back there with Bullymore, with Murray Penn and Dennis Clark. But Thayer in the Wicked Surfwear car, putting in a wicked performance, that's for sure. Still leading this one. Nelson's been very impressive for his 3rd place in this one, and runs strong all night. But Greg Walling trying to spin up this local trifecta by putting the fielder's fresh friend, number 3 Commodore, up into 3rd place. Can he do it? Richard Nelson's the man who stands in his way. This is their last chance to qualify in tonight's racing. The Super Sedan feature coming up very shortly. But they are enjoying this, stretching the long legs of the 31 Commodore. Trevor Johnson, the Moylan Silos, Kelleberrin, Cortina. Look at this, here comes Walling on the outside, trying the outside run on Nelson. Let's have a look. He's got a little bit more horsepower, and Nelson would know that. He's going to make sure he comes off the turn a little bit high, not to afford Walling a look. Here comes the outside run again, but Nelson doing a great job. The Centura answering the call. As they go into turn number 3, Walling tucks it down low, stabs the brakes, brings the car back underneath. Nelson needs to get back down. Here comes the horsepower drag, and Nelson just able to make the Centura stretch long enough into turn number 1 and 2 once more. Great racing. Walling now shifts him up track. Nelson will do well to come back from there. He gets on the brakes, pulls the car back down, hoping that Walling will go deep He does, but not quite enough. Look at Thayer. What a devastating run, the 31 car. Johnson's been very solid for his second. Holding down a strong top three finish at least is car number 3, Greg Walling. Back then to Richard Nelson, Robbie Hungins, Frank Doze, Greg Bullymore. We go back to Peter Thayer in car number 31, just blitzing this field. Laps are starting to tick by now, and Thayer pretty well starting to enjoy this win. He knows it'll help him in the point score, no end, and he's got to be sitting up there fairly strong. 1 lap left to travel, says Don Crombie. Trevor Johnson slips underneath Dennis Clark to put a lap down. Walling is up to 3rd now. And you would bet that Peter Thayer is wearing a grin from ear to ear inside that helmet. Back there in 2nd. What a run it's been from Johnson. As they go into turn number 3. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Great drive, great win. Peter Thayer collects the win, the 31 Commodore. Back there in 2nd, the 25 entry of Trevor Johnson, the Moylan Silos Cortina. We go back to Greg Walling in the Builders number 3 car. Back then to Richard Nelson in car number 32. Car number 23, Murray Penn, Rob Hungins, Frank Doze in car number 3. Bullymore back there in car number 66. What a drive it was from Peter Thayer.
Oh, I think the Bunbury track is an excellent facility. Nice large racetrack, allows you to run 2, 3, up to 4 wide if you're good enough. Compared to the Eastern Seaboard, a much larger racetrack. We have very small quarter-mile dirt over there. Local talent here is very strong. You've got a very strong contingent of Sigmas. Shane Martin is really flying and a worthy contender for the title. Haven't seen the best of Steve Hancock. He's had trouble for the first round, but I think that we'll see better of him tonight. Definite contender. I think Gregory's gone exceptionally well. In fact, I rate Gregory as a bit of a dark horse. I see his car really lasting the 40 laps and probably being stronger at the finish than most other cars. Well, it's not a sprint race. 40 laps to us is an endurance race. The first 20, 25s is sought out, and if you, at the end of 25, if you're in an attacking position, and that's probably anywhere from probably 1 to 6, you can be in a winning position at the end of 40 laps. So the last 15 laps are the deciders. Tyres and equipment really come into play at that time.
I'd certainly like to think that I can finish up in the top 6. If I can come out and win it, well, I'll be certainly over the moon, but realistically, if I can get a top 6 finish, I'll be very happy with that. There's a lot of strong competition here. The local guys have got that knowledge on us. Track conditions will play a big part in the final, but there's a lot of top cars. If I can get in the top 6, I'll be very happy.
Pretty good so far. We had to do some suspension alterations, and we've done those during the week, and we hope the car will go a bit better tonight. Competition's good. The surface is unusual to us. We don't normally run on a clay track like this, and we've found it a bit hard to settle into. But after tonight's racing, we hope it'll come good.
Actually, the Eastern States competition is fantastic. It's really good. Shame there wasn't perhaps a few more here, but yeah, if I can sort of get the tyres to stay on the rims, etc., I think I'll do fairly well. Yeah, the car will come together fairly well. The first heat, I got up to 2nd, and the right-hand rear started to deflate, so I sort of finished the race in 2nd spot, and then the second heater went out. It ripped the tyre clean off the bead, so I wasn't even able to finish. Third race I went out and just ran a lot more pressure in the tyres, and it sort of seems to have overcome the problem, and yeah, finished the 2nd, so I was pretty happy really, yeah.
Well, the local competition is very good here, I found. The track is up to date, it's very good. I've handled it quite well. I thought I might be able to handle it. The first heat I won, and you know, since then I've been going well, yes. Yes, you just got to stay in there and hope for the best.
Oh, very tough, Steve, very tough. The track's a lot longer than we're used to running on, but you know, tonight I think we'll come to grips with it, and the car will go a lot quicker, and we've got 2 good front starts, so I think we'll be up in the points tonight. I think we'll have to go fairly easy for the first 20 laps, and hope to come home on pretty strong. You know, the faster cars will get away, but I think we'll come home pretty strong, take it easy early.
It was a little bit on the rough side, but we sort of hung in there. I thought the car did better than I expected, so I'm pretty happy with where we are at the moment. Made some U-beat changes, and I'm hoping it's going to do us some turn of good. My ambition is to, first of all, qualify, because we've still got 2 heats to go. Once we've qualified, I hope to get to the end of the final 40 laps. We've got Odin radiators and Joondalup radiators have done a hell of a lot for us. They got a huge radiator in the car which seems to get a lot of attention. A lot of the guys wondering where the hell it came from because it's specially made, but yep, we should be running strong.
Well, we blew the motor in Claremont the week before and rebuilt it, came here, we thought everything was right. It looked good to start with, first couple of laps, blew it again, that was us for the night, so we're starting from scratch tonight and we'll probably be very lucky to make in, I'd say, barring some other poor fellows unfortunate. But, we just wish for the best, and if we get in, we think we can give it a good old shake. Go over 40 laps, anything's possible. It'll be hard, there's a lot of good cars here, but we think we can mix it with them if we can get on equal terms.
That's great.
Remains to be seen.
G'day, Brad Ludlow. G'day. Saw you going very well there on Tuesday night. How do you think you're going to fare tonight against the Eastern States fellas?
Oh, we'll just see. The car's a bit better than it was on Tuesday night. We'll just have to find out. I think the experience will pay off. We'll just have to wait and see.
Not real good. We had trouble with the carby and that, trying to set the jets up and that, but apart from that, we think we've got it running pretty right now. Should be a big difference, yeah. I'd say it'll be one of the best tracks around for sure. Yeah, as far as surface goes, it's pretty smooth going. The competition is great, yeah, have to be one of the best, yeah, for sure. Well, just got to get there first, but I'm starting up the front in the 2 heats I've got left, and we've got the car running right now, so should go pretty well, hopefully, yeah.
Oh, she's not too good Tuesday night. We had a prang, but yeah, she's a very fast track, that's for sure. Yeah, take a bit of stamina to do the 40 laps, I think. That's for sure. This track will be the fastest track I've ever raced on, I think. They're a lot slower in up north than down here.
Tough. There's some good talent here. We're going to make it very interesting tonight. So who's actually going to get up there? I reckon there's a few surprises stored. I'm hoping myself I can be in one of them up there.
We didn't go real well. We blew a head gasket, so that put us out for the night. So we just had to sit back and watch, and we got the bits today for the engine, so hopefully the engine will go right now. It's going to be pretty hard. I reckon I'm going to get run over from some of the blokes going pretty quick. I reckon it should be pretty good, but...
Oh, it's not too bad. Plenty of competition down here. We weren't geared right ourselves, so I can't really tell you a lot until tonight. We changed all the dips and everything so we could have a bit better run on it, yeah. Oh, it's just steady. Been in a few of them before, and you know, it's when you get to the end of the line, that's over that flag. That's the biggest part of the job. No good going mad and ending up out of it altogether. But I think, you know, the main thing is to get to the end of the line, do the 40 laps.
I did change gearboxes, and fix the clutch up, a bit of panel damage, fixed up, the suspension work. So hopefully it should be all done by now. Just conserve the car, and hopefully finish.
Yeah, we certainly had a stroke of bad luck Tuesday night. We had a lot of leaning off problems with the car. We found that yesterday, found the problem. We've rebuilt a new engine, so things should look a bit stronger for tonight. We'll obviously be starting somewhere at the back, I'd say, so we'll just have to try our hardest from there. Whatever happens is how it's going to be. It's a bit disappointing about Tuesday night, but it can't be helped now.
2 more heats to go. Are you going to hold back in these, or is it go for broke and hope that the car's not damaged for the final?
Top 6, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, so we're obviously not going to hold back then. 40 laps around. Can you make it?
The way the car's running, I think yes. It's not getting hot. With the power steering, it makes it a lot easier. Yeah, I hope so.
Got a couple of sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yeah, Mick Moreland especially from Calaburn, Replica Motor Company, who builds the Replica Cobra. That's Mick as well. And that's about all. But anyone else out there that wants to sponsor me is quite welcome to.
So if anyone's in the market for a silo, they go and see Mick?
Go and see Mick, yeah, too right.
Oh, I think my car is going reasonable so far. We've a little bit of handling problems that we've solved that we hope now. And Eastern State guys are sort of pushing us a fair bit, but I think guys at Colour, Shane, myself and Steve will sort of give them a bit of a run for their money. And I think we should, I think Steve or Shane should come through, myself perhaps, come through and hopefully take the title out for West Australia.
Well, the competition is fierce, obviously. You've got Eastern State drivers here. The car, well, it was handling not too badly. We had problems with the fuel, and then that slight accident in the second race sort of cost us the third heat.
Well, the car had a few problems, but managed to get through. Done a few changes to the car and just hope for the best for tonight. The 40 lap is going to be one hell of a race by itself anyway. I can see the track's probably going to be a bit lumpy and probably suit more of its style to the West Australian type guys because we're used to the track. And unfortunately, the East Coast guys like a nice smooth track, but there's some pretty quick machinery and they're still going to fare very well in it.
Well, starting rear to field doesn't help because it's a late nomination. But I thought I did it right. Got a 4th, a 5th and a 6th, so I'm up there with the points. At least I'm in the top 14 anyway. Yeah, I haven't got power steering. I've just gone to racing rubber and find it very hard to steer, especially in a straight line. So yeah, my arm's going to be very sore after 40 laps, yes.
Yeah. What do you think of the competition you're getting from the east?
Very fast. Very professional and very fast, yes. Very high standard, actually.
Anyone could win this. It's a good-looking field, the Bunbury Nissan Navara. Moving off the circuit, we're all set. This is going to be a beauty. First heat of the night. Millman alongside Borden, and away we go. Onto the main straight. Amajuri looks for the high run. Oh, Hancock goes 4 wide. The state champ mixing it right up in there at the moment. Millman on the race lead. Borden up to second. Look at Hancock. Work the outside of Ludlow. Looking for 4th place. Oh, yes. Nice move. Ludlow tries to take him high. Hancock's having none of it. He's up to 4th. Millman continuing to lead. Robbie Borden is second. Here comes Buckley. Oh, what a strong run from Buckley. Straight through underneath. Well, use the old concrete curb as the cushion on that one. We'll wait and see. They head down the back straight. Hancock, yes, goes for the inside run. Oh, this is great stuff. He charges up to 3rd. Look at the battle for the race lead. It's Buckley and Millman out in front. Hancock up to 3rd. Onto the main straight. Tremendous feeling in the crowd here, Con. They're absolutely alight. Buckley goes for the race lead. Millman back to 2nd now. Oh, look at Robbie Borden's car go up in smoke. Here comes Hancock up to 2nd place. And the Narrogin fans about to go mental. Going into turn number 3. Buckley's going high. Here comes Hancock looking for the inside run. Brilliant racing. This is going to be a great 40-lap final. There's a couple of heats left in it tonight. Then we go into the all-important final. But at the moment, Buckley leading. Here comes Hancock looking for the inside run. Well, no, won't quite come off here. The Commodore's fast. Oh, he's looking for it. Here we go. Leans on Buckley. He says, no, you don't. Good driving, Alan Buckley. Well done. Onto the main straight once more. Hancock looking for the outside run now. Will continue to molest him. You can bet on that. Back there in 3rd. Great brave Wayne Millman. Here comes Hancock. He's through. The Narrogin fans go absolutely nuts. Buckley back to 2nd. Millman now for 3rd. Brad Ludlow for 4th. Frank Doze. Here they come. Past the main straight. Steve Hancock out in front. Well, he had a bit of a moment coming off turn number 4. The cheers were a little bit nervous. Millman up to 3rd. We were saying Brad Ludlow for 4th. Frank Doze, strong drive from him. Now up to 4th place. No power steering in the car. Daniel Amajuri, Robbie Hungens, Les Weston in car number 27. But the crowd enjoying this, none more so than the Narrogin fans. Here he comes past us once more. Hancock enjoying it. The engine seems to be running strong for him. Let's hope it stays that way. These heats are a long way, something like 12 laps. Buckley having a little bit of a moment through turn number 2. Hancock is pulling away from Amajuri, having a good battle with Hungens and Weston. Oh, Les Weston getting a little bit spooky on the main straight. Here comes our race leader. He's a state champion, very fast car. As we were saying, had a lot of problems on Tuesday night. And Buckley having pretty well just that much chance of catching him as they go into turn number 3. But he's holding down a good, strong run for 2nd. Millman's up to 3rd. And with laps starting to tick by, Hancock has made this one quite comfortably. Buckley holding down a strong run. The Shell Norseman 18 car. Lap traffic now starting to come into this, but it's pretty thin. Brad Ludlow driving well. The bonnet coming a little bit adrift on the number 5 Rambler, but he's still continuing on very well. Amajuri, Hungens. They're about to start lapping cars once more. Hancock, every lap, these guys are loving it. Buckley trying to close him down. I think Amajuri spins the Minicraft Escort out of turn number 2. Rejoins the field. Let's hope everybody gets through okay. They do. There's Frank Doze. What a great run from him so far. The M&D Auto Engineering Cortina. Been a strong run. Here comes Hancock trying to put a move on Hudgens now. Moves him up track. Very well done. Laps are starting to tick by. The Framfield Caltex time clock, 23:24. So the state champ is not hanging around. He knows he's got to make up for lost time. Tuesday night was a devastating run for him. The white flag is being prepared. 1 lap left in this one. Hancock will be willing the car on from here. He is a strong chance for this title. Here comes Buckley, running very hard and very strong. 3/4 of a lap left in it. Millman running hard for third. Back to Brad Ludlow. We go back to Frank Doze. Here he comes, final corner. Steve Hancock, good drive from well back in the field, and the first heat of the night. Yes, they are absolutely loving it here on the main straight. Second, good drive, Alan Buckley. Not a bad pick, Sean Mazzucchelli. We go back to third place run, Wayne Millman. The Collie fans pretty happy with his effort. Back to Brad Ludlow. Frank Doze in car number 41. Les Weston, Robbie Hudgens, Daniel Amaduri. The all-up time on the Framfield Caltex time clock, 4 minutes, 38.54.
Fish Talenta. John Day looks happy with them. The pace begins, an absolute lungbuster as Pascoe in 34. On the outside is car number 11, John Purser from Western Australia. Past the big bar at the end of the main straight, and the pressure's right on. This is heat number 11 of the 1994 Australian Modified Sedan Championship. And already the pace is a firecracker. Gary Pascoe out of turn number 4. Back to car number 23, Penn, going very well indeed. Then we find back there to the Queenslander in the Victorian, Ian Calderwell in car number 13. A big bunch of cars, a huge crowd on hand to witness this magnificent Speedway spectacle in a beautiful part of Western Australia, down here in Bunbury, Western Australia. No doubt about it, ladies and gentlemen. Car number 34, our race leader, going very well indeed. That is young Pascoe. He led off the pole. Calderwell from Victoria's in that green machine, and he is starting to smoke badly, but he's pouring the pressure on, and providing nothing goes wrong mechanically as Jono moves to the infield in car number 31. No, Peter Thayer, one of the early drivers, is in a spotter by the right from the beginning. So already you can see one of the fancy drivers is out of the event. The highest point scorer has gone to the infield. Down the back straight they go, a 22.71 second lap that last time around. Pascoe still leads, going very well indeed. Murray Penn's amongst them. A long gap back then to Calderwell, the Victorian driver. Then we come to see car number 35. That coming in there and doing very well is Fishy Talenta. Car number 11 going there is John Purser. Calderwell's car is still smoking. That 5 down and 7 to go, and the black flag's coming out to Calderwell. Calderwell is being told that the motor is smoking too badly. It could be dangerous for him, and what a shame to come all that way. Peter Thayer's rejoined the race in car number 31, so his dreams have been shattered in this heat as our race leader, Gary Pascoe, still leading the event. Second place man, car number 23, Murray Penn. Then Calderwell, the halfway mark, 35, Greg Oliver. Car number 29 going along very well is Trevor Johnson, but there's no doubt about the race at the moment. Our friend Dennis Clark being lapped as they thunder down the back straight and throw the car into pit's bed. Well, the Victorian Calderwell hasn't seen the black flag, and he's still going on. He realises he's come a long way to see this event, and he wants to finish. He says to the officials, I've got to finish this event. I know what's wrong with my car. This is the big burning question at the moment. 4 laps to go on the heat number 11 of the Miles Fuel Supplies event. The race leader at the moment, Gary Pascoe, going from strength to strength. Murray Penn's in second place. The Victorian Calderwell throwing caution to the wind. He doesn't want to stop. 35, Greg Oliver. Then back to Trevor Johnson. Back to Purser. Rosie, the Bunbury man. On and on they go. Laps are ticking by. The race is a cracker. 3 laps to go. That's right, it's 9 down and 3 to go. Calderwell's still going. Peter Thayer must get points to finish. And front man is still Gary Pascoe. Back to 23. Oh, Pascoe's gone up in a cloud of smoke. Pascoe's out of the event. The motor's locked solid. That is absolutely a cruel blow to the young man. Murray Penn's in the lead. Calderwell's coming out in the Victorian. Under pressure, Greg Oliver. This is going to be a finish like never seen before at Bunbury. Out of turn 4 and 2 laps to go. Cars are smoking. The action's absolutely burning at the moment. Car number 23, Murray Penn. Car number 13, Ian Calderwell, the Victorian. Out of turn 2. Oh, this is going to be an absolute ripper. They thunder down the back straight. Throw the car into pits bend. Murray Penn fighting for survival. The Victorian Calderwell on the outside trying hard. Abercrombie gets the white flag. 1 lap to go. Third man, Greg Oliver. Johnson's up there from Calabaron. This is sensational modified sedan racing. Out of turn 2 for the last time. Absolutely brilliant. Murray Penn's out in front. Ian Calderwell. The car he said he could do the distance, and that's exactly what he's done. Out of turn number 4, I hope the officials look at him, smile at him the right way as Murray Penn goes across the line. Ian Calderwell in second place. Then Greg Oliver, Jono, back to Dennis Clark, then Rosie, back to Johnny Purser in car number 11, a long gap back to car number 33, Bullimore, Greg Walling out of it, and Peter Thayer finishing stone motherless last. Time 4:41.57. Last lap was done at a 23.25, and the fast lap was a 22.70 on lap number 2. Well, what an absolute turn-up. Well, the action never ever stops. And believe you me, Wade, these guys, I feel very sorry for young Pascoe. Only 2 from home, and the motor let go in a great big way.
Yeah, what racer? What can you do? Okay, waiting on the Aussie track where entry coming up right about now. We're underway. Very strong field, 4 wide going into turn number 1. Martin is pushing very hard. Brims is in there with him. Ricchetti as well. Oh, this is great racing. Oh, Ricchetti just got moved to the back of the field. Down the back straight into turn number 3. Martin doing a brilliant job. Brims trying to follow him around the outside. This is great stuff. Neil Johnson caught right up in the middle. Walling's in there as well. This is great racing. Here comes Brims. Johnson's in there as well. Walling around the outside. Where did Walling pull that from? It was back in about 5th. He's now in 3rd and chasing Ian Brims. But look at the Martin Sigma just pull away. This is great stuff. Car number 21 having all sorts of dramas back in the field. Bad luck indeed. We'll have to wait and see just what he can come up with later in the night. Let's hope it wasn't too terminal. But look at these 2 East Coast cars trying to catch Martin. He had a moment. Here comes Brims. Martin needs to get back down low and start defending. Walling's now up to 3rd. Look at this. Martin is under pressure. Johnson back in 4th. Nelson is back in 5th place at this stage. McGrath is back in 6th. On the main straight once more. Martin's going to drive defensively. That is a very fast car. Martin has got all the aces against him at the moment. He'll go a little high. He needs to make sure he stays down low and make Brims and Walling work the outside run. Walling had to get on the brakes coming off turn number 2 just then. But Johnson, Nelson and McGrath having their own battle for the minors. Our race leader from Albany, the Hills Wreckers, Schweppes, number 7, Martin Sigma. Brims holding down the low line, desperately needs the points. So does Walling. He's in 2nd place overall in the points. He'd love to have Shane Martin. He'd love to take him over for the position. And Martin doing a great job. On the main straight once more. Oh, look at this. Martin on the inside of Brims. Walling still holding out for 3rd. Martin down the back straight once more. Brims looking for the outside run. Can't quite get it. Martin refusing to let him in there. Onto the main straight once more. Okay, going into turn number 1. Martin once more. Continuing to lead. Brims in 2nd. Bob Walling, former 2-time champ. Brims a former champ as well. Down the back straight. Look at Brims's car. Bit of kangaroo juice coming out of turn number 2. But the local boy from the southwest, the Albany Charger. Well, this is great. Walling and Brims charging very hard for the minors. The 2 Commodores. This could take the heat off Martin. He can skip away while these 2 are handing it out. Strong work. Walling forges through. Brims has to come back. This is great. 1st and 2nd overall in the series, and 1st and 2nd in this heat. This is great stuff. Onto the main straight. Martin, oh, Brims goes high. Well, they are really handing it out. Walling and Brims staging a battle royal for 2nd place at the moment. Down the back straight. Shane Martin from Albany continuing to get the job done. Into turn number 3 once more. Laps are starting to tick by. Brims now coming back. Walling has faded a little in the number 4, Fielders Commodore. Brims coming back strongly. This has been a great race. Lap traffic will now play a part. This is where Martin needs to be dead certain of where he's going to go. He cannot hesitate. If he hesitates, Brims will be through in the blink of an eye, and Walling will try to follow. Which way is he going to go, high or low? Looking for the inside run. Shane needs to get through the traffic. Oh, here comes Brims. He's got him. Can Martin hang on? He does. Oh, good drive, Shane Martin. Brilliant stuff. Martin takes him back. That's desperation. There's 1.5 laps left in this, and what a thriller it'll be. Martin on the outside, Brims on the inside. Walling in there as well. 1 lap left to travel, race fans. Onto the main straight. Come on, the local boy. Shane Martin from Albany. Can he hold on? Brims running the low line now. Walling in there as well. This is the modified sedan race of the century. Great stuff. They go into turn number 3. This is good. Look at this. Brims on the inside. Come on, Bunbury. Shane Martin will get the win. What a great drive. Brims will get second just. Well, Bob Walling for 3rd place. Back then, strong drive. Glenn Smith in car number 25. Might have been a lap down. He is. Richard Nelson, Neil Johnson, back to Noel McGrath. Checkered flag is out. And what a great drive. There he is, race fans, from Albany. Shane Martin. Let's hear it for him. Con, we're getting to the action end of the evening now.
Yes, the pace begins to quicken. The Bunbury Nissan Utes off. The General John Day is happy. And Brad takes his life in his hands once again as car number 11, Purser, but then car number 3, the man from New South Wales, Bob Walling, on the outside. Rosie comes there 3 wide as they move out of turn number 2. Claw to the floor time, down the back straight at about 70 miles an hour. Throw the car sideways. Car number 11 out in front and absolutely churning up the Bunbury City Speedway. Car number 11, one car's gone wide. It's Rosie. Hancock's there as well. I don't think about Johnson there. Not Hancock, it's Johnson. So the race there at the moment. John Purser fighting for survival. Behind him is one of the heavy hitters of Australian modified sedan racing. That driver, of course, is Bob Walling from New South Wales. Johnson up in 3rd place. Rosie from Bunbury in 4th place. Out of turn 4, 2 laps down. 10 laps to go. The pressure begins to mount. John Purser, car number 3 in 2nd place. Bob Walling from New South Wales. Greg Walling, I beg your pardon, from New South Wales. Then back to Johnson, 29. Back once again, 2 wide. Thundering down the back straight. No place for the weak at heart at Speedway. That concrete wall comes up oh so fast. Walling's in more trouble than the early settlers. Oh, the West Australian drivers dish him right up. Rosie grabs 3rd place. Johnson back in 3rd. Greg Wallen, the gentleman racer, drops back into 4th position. Down out of turn number 2. Car number 11, John Purser leads. Then back to Rosie now. Can the boy from Phil Rose, number 6 from Bunbury, knows the track like the back of his hand. Out of turn 4. Laps are ticking by. 4 down and 8 to go. This is the City and Regional Fuel Supplies event, and it is a beauty once again. John Purser, car number 11. Philip Rose in 2nd place. Back to Johnson in 3rd. Greg Wallen states the fight back. You can forget about the rest of the field. Frank Dozer's in there as well. But the Kiwis have a brilliant pass. Come on, Bunbury. Right behind him. Woo! Yes, sirree. Car number 6 grabs the lead. Yep, that is brilliant. Philip Rose grabs the lead. Greg Walling starts to fight back. John Purser doesn't like being relegated back to 2nd place. Starts to fight back, but out of turn number 4 once again. Halfway mark, 6 down and 6 to go. City Regional Fuels. These are the big sponsors tonight. Car number 6, the race leader, doing a great job. Philip Rose back to car number 11, battling in there hard. John Purser. Trevor Johnson in more trouble around. The blue smoke comes out. Greg Walling gets out underneath him, shoves him out the road unceremoniously. Out of turn number 4, Digger Clark gets the indication from the field. Stay up high on the fence, young man. There's a freight train coming past you. Car number 7, car number 6, Phil Rose. Rose is getting from strength to strength as he moves out of turn number 2. Number 11, John Purser still in 2nd place. Greg Walling starts the long haul back. 5 laps left to go in the heat, sponsored by the City Regional Fuels. Heat number 13, as I said, lucky for some, unlucky for others, but at the moment, Phil Rose from Bunbury has Luck riding right on his side. Out of turn number 4 once again. This is a absolute classic drive for the man from Bunbury. Into Pitts Bend. 9 down, 3 to go. Rosie. This is heat number 13 of the Australian Modified Sedan Championship. Car number 6, Philip Rose. Back to car number 11, Purser. Greg Walling in car number 3. Trevor Johnson in 29, then back to Frank Doze in 41. A long gap back to Digger Clark, and then car number 33, Ross Boulevard from Queensland. But no doubt with 2 laps to go. This is, he's in more trouble again. Rosie lost the plot slightly. Regains the control of the model. On with the business. Down the main straight. 1 3/4 laps to go. Greg Walling starts to make his presence felt. A half a lap. Phil Rose is in trouble. Greg Walling's grabbed the lead. Unbelievable stuff. Lap and a half left to go. Phil Rose is in more trouble than the early settlers. Out of turn number 4, the white flag. Greg Walling's gone from chocolates to boiled lollies, then back to boiled lollies to chocolates. That is unbelievable. As I said, lucky for some, unlucky for others, as they go down the back straight for the last time. The man from New South Wales, the fastest baker in the business, car number 3. Let's hear it for Greg Walling, ladies and gentlemen. Greg Walling across the line first. In second place, Trevor Johnson in 29. Back to Johnny Purser. Come on, Bunbury with a flat tyre. What a vicious blow. Philip Rose, then Frank Doze. City and Regional Fuel Supplies heat. 4:28.14. The last lap was done in a 21.50. The fast lap was 21.50. And Greg Walling, as I said, went from chocolates to boiled lollies, then from boiled lollies back to chocolate.
Cortina, Steve Hancock. The Alan Buckley, number 18 Commodore, alongside Wayne Millman and Daniel Amajuri at the rear. Strong field, 2 fast cars off the front row. State of origin battle at its very best. Ian Brim dropped in the race. Neil Johnson slots in behind him. Brad Ludlow gave him something to think about. Hancock looks for the inside line, down the back straight, here he goes, up to third. Millman right in there as well. The Narrogin fans are right in the driver's seat. Oh, Brad Ludlow got very spooky. Oh, Alan Buckley and Glenn Smith just tangled. And Glenn Smith went towards the concrete wall, managed to salvage it just in time. 2 farm Commodores followed by a Cortina, a Rambler, a Sigma and another Commodore. Protest flag being readied. Oh, Brad Ludlow. Oh, and he's driven out of it. Oh, across the front of the field. Oh, he held on to it. The biggest comeback since Lazarus. What a drive. Midway through turn number 3 and 4. I thought Brad Ludlow was going to get sucked into the wall and wouldn't be able to come out, but he stayed on the gas, and that's important. Protest flag on Alan Buckley. Our race leader, Ian Brim's clearing away now. Hancock's up to second, round the outside of Johnson. Well, this is more like it from the state champ. Neil Johnson trying in vain to catch him in a Go-Bird Hire Commodore. Down the back straight. Wayne Millman up to 4th. Alan Buckley for 5th. Back to Brad Ludlow. We go back to Glenn Smith, Daniel Amajuri and Robbie Hungents. I tell you what, the 76 card's not relevant at all what I'm about to say, but it sounds just like Bob Gray's V6 third champ car. Has a real angry sound to it. And isn't it a fast car? Going to turn number 3 and Brim backs the Commodore into turn number 3 and 4 under the Framfield Caltex time clock. Onto the main straight, let's look at these times. 20.39, something like 3 seconds faster than Hancock's lap times in the first heat that he won. Neil Johnson back in third. Well, tell you what, if Brims can get a clear run in the feature, they may not catch him half race distance onto the main straight. And Brims getting better as the race goes on. Hancock resigning himself to second, I would say. The Narrogin Wreckers. Cortina back into Neil Johnson. Millman closing on him too. Buckley's under protest but racing well. Brad Ludlow. The car's starting to come apart a little. Glenn Smith back to Amajuri and Hungers. A lap down now. And Brims, the BP, Brims, 76 BP Commodore, V6 power plant. Ticking over like a dream. Down the back straight to turn number 3 once more. And Brims chalking up a strong result for the Eastern Seaboard in this one. Onto the main straight once more. Laps are starting to tick by. 20.4 seconds. Consistently 4 laps left to travel. He's consistently in the mid to low 22nd bracket. And lapping traffic is a breeze as he storms underneath Amaturi. Oh, the car pins a little bit going through turn number 3 and 4. Hancock in the length of the main straight back. In fact, it's more than that. It's almost half a lap. This Commodore is an absolute jet. You can put it with the Super Sedans and have a half a chance. Hancock in second. Johnson in third. Millman closing him down. Amaturi back in the field as Brad Ludlow in the box front automatics number 5 car. 2 laps left to go. Sparks flying out from the back of the Alan Buckley car. Could be a problem. Look at the Sparks. The 18 Commodore, the black car, running in 5th at the moment. Smoke now. Sparks definitely falling out the tail of the Alan Buckley car. On the main straight, look at the tail of it. As he goes into turn number 1, there's definitely a problem. 1 lap left to travel for our race leader, Ian Brims. What a strong run it's been. Brad Ludlow retires in the number 5 car. Hancock chasing in vain, but won't have the time or the laps to do it. Johnson back in third, but here comes Wayne Millman. Oh, come on, Bunbury. What an impressive drive. A domination of that event. Ian Brims collects the win. Strong run. Back in second, the state champ, Steve Hancock. Good, strong battle going on for the Miners. Hancock gets the nod for second. Neil Johnson will collect third. We'll go back to Wayne Millman. The rest of the field, Glenn Smith and Daniel Amaturi having a battle for this as well. The all-up time on the Framfield Caltex time clock. Very fast time. As you can see, Alan Buckley got a flat. And more than that, it locked up a little going into turn number 1. All-up time, 4 minutes 7.82. The last one down at a 20.82. And the fast one on lap number 5 at 20.39. And Ian brimming with confidence, you might say, Con, as he goes into the final.
Yes, he certainly is. Wade, as you were saying in your call, and correctly, for this car, if it went up against the Super Sedans to give them a run, tell you one thing it does do, and that's handle, and that's something that some of our Super Sedans have been having a little bit of difficulty in doing. John Day's happy with them as they are off and racing. Car number 35, Greg Oliver, a pretty heavy hitter, going very fast into him. Car number 7 in Shane Martin, as look, he is lost right out of behind the field, so something must be wrong with Martin. That is a turn up for the books. He has missed the start completely as car number 35, Oliver. Then back to car number 4, Bob Walling, the New South Welshman, the big man who owns probably one of the biggest bread manufacturing companies on the eastern seaboard of Australia. So Bob Walling, the New South Welshman, going well as we find a tremendous battle. Oliver out in front, down to turn 4. Walling in second place. Back to car number 23, burning up the raceway. Murray Penn, and there's plenty of action for the minor placing. Righto, so here's the news. Car number 7, Shane Martin. You can drop your worst performance on the night, so he's not trying, but Bob Walling is. He is a desperate man. Out of turn number 4, the back tyre of car number 35, Oliver was looking like it was just about to go down. Bob Walling shoving out the road. No place for weak at heart. Absolutely brilliant action. Out of turn number 2, Bob Walling leading. Back in second place is young Oliver. Oh, and a 360 completely. That is the first accident we've had in a heat. But the race car is off the track and the race does continue. Plenty of action here at Bunbury City Speedway tonight. This is the 1994 Australian Modified Sedan Championship and it's heat number 15, sponsored by Southwest Field Services. The race leader at the moment, Bob Walling, car number 4. Car number 7, Martin, our race points leader, has dropped out of the event. This is sensational speedway here at the moment. 35, Oliver, back to car number 32 and going very well indeed. That driver is Richard Nelson from WA. Plenty of action. Halfway mark, 5 down, 6 down and 6 to go. Framfield Caltex time clock tells the story of speed. Out of turn number 4, the man in car number 4, Bob Walling, leads the event. Back there to Greg Oliver, a long gap back to 32, going along very well indeed. Richard Nelson. This race is virtually a one-horse race now as Walling, the New South Welshman, flexes his muscles, shows the power of his car. Out of turn number 4, and at this particular stage would have to be one of the favourites for the 94 crown. Looking very strong in heat number 15 of the Southwest Field Services round of the Australian Sedan Championship. There is a muffler or something on the middle of the track with 4 laps to go, and it could be that it creates some problems for the drivers. Out of turn number 4 once again, Bob Walling owns and manufactures Fielder's Bread in New South Wales. Oliver up there in second place, a long gap for car number 14. That's Noel McGrath, another man who's come a long way away from Victoria to race in this championship. Car number 12 has found the going tough. So it is tough. Believe you me, there's no place for the weak at heart, and that's Robbie Borden. Our race later, 9 down and 3 to go. Bob Worley, a veteran driver, one winner of many national and state championships all around Australia, would love to take the crown for 1994. Out of turn 4, 2 laps to go. The Franfield Caltex time clock tells the story of speed, and it is an absolute firecracker. Out of turn number 2 once again. The action never ever stops. Down the back straight, 1.5 laps left to go, and this time through we'll find the checkered flag coming to car number 4. Bob Walling, ladies and gentlemen, across the line first, the man from New South Wales, the biggest bread manufacturer on the eastern seaboard of Australia. In second place is young Greg Oliver in car number 35. A long gap back then to car number 14 in third place, Noel McGrath from Victoria. Then car number 32, Richard Nelson from WA, and the time 3:55.48. Going around, they will do into the main straight. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, this is the salute to you, the paying public, the Bunbury City Speedway, as the fireworks go off the back of the General's ute. There's the trophy. Put your hands together now. General John Day always does something a little bit special. Trophy girls, Bob Chalmers, Doug Carlson, I should say, there instructing Bob Chambers, the chief steward.
Now, when you said that the men were about to go on a 40-lap marathon man-made hill, I thought you were talking about you and I. This is going to be a long way.
Certainly is. Well, we're going to do it by 10.
How about this guy? I'm down on the track side. Wayne Millman has got a straw into the side of his helmet. And I thought, what's this? And we look back, and just to the back of the roll cage is a little canister of cordial. And he's actually going to take a bit of Cotty's cordial at 20 laps. So they're pretty well prepared for this 40-lapper.
Well, the West Australians, as you know, they run a 100-lapper. They got their sandwiches, tea and coffee. It's like the Tour de France. This is the Tour de Bunbury. But I hope those people at the bar are having a good time. We were hoping one of them would bring us a nice ice-cold beer, but it never happened.
We're still hoping. Well, if they come onto the main straight this time, ladies and gentlemen, how about getting on your feet? That way they can see just how much you appreciate what they've done in the last 2 days. So as they come onto the main straight, get on your feet, put your hands together for them. They can see a reaction from you. They'll know it's all been worthwhile. They've come a long way. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we like to see. Up on your feet. This is going to be a great title, Con. One of the classics, I think.
Yes, a great field of drivers and a very excited crowd here ready to take us on 40 laps. 40 laps of speedway racing on this 560-metre gumbo clay track. This track is approximately 50 metres longer than the Claremont track now. It is purpose-built, and the people that in the history going back many years ago, 22 or 23 years, guys like Lloyd Bickett and Harold Thomas and myself, we all met down here when this was a swamp, and now it is one of the finest speedway venues, not only in Australia, but believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, one of the finest speedway venues in the world. This is the Bunbury City Speedway. You are about to be entertained by Bunbury Nissan as we proudly present to you the Australian Modified Sedan Championship Grand Final. The pride and joy and place in Western Australia, Shane Marden on the pole position. On the outside of him, former dual national champion the veteran driver, Bob Walling of New South Wales.
Kind of a face tells 1,000 words sometimes, and Shane Martin looked as nervous as anyone had ever seen. He was pacing, he was shaking, he was sweating, and he's absolutely on fire at the moment. He's so nervous, but he could well do it. Once the first couple of laps settle in, it's usually where you see the guys settle down a little bit, but he's got some experience behind him. The two fielders, fresh bred Commodores, are the Walling men right in the front row with him, and of course Ian Brims. Hancock a little further back than he'd like to be, but 40 laps.
Car number 29 has struck a spot of bother, which is unfortunate. Trevor Johnson, is he going to win the race against time? They're going to send them on one more lap. One more lap. Car number 14 is told that he should be in front of car number 3. Hello, looks like we're at Ascot. Cut it out. Kent. Trevor Johnson. Can he make it, ladies and gentlemen? The AFCF officials are there working on his car. What a vicious blow to the young man. It was bad enough for poor old Peter Thayer, but to have got to the start line and now find, oh, they look like they're going to push the car. They want to push a ute. They need a push a ute. Can he make it? Car number 29, Drama, at the start of the Bunbury Nissan Australian Modified Sedan Championship Grand Final. Push a ute to the rescue. Just as well for telecommunication, we can get to the people to say don't let it go. But it gives the drivers an opportunity to give their track a good wheel packing. Let's hope they've got plenty of fuel for 40 laps. Oh, he's out of the event. Well, that's terrible for young Trevor Johnson. He was one of the fancied men. Brims is the 36 car. Ian Brims from Queensland is strong. Johnson's going again, but it just won't fire. It must have been a fuel blockage right at that crucial moment. They say an ounce of luck's worth a fortune, but an ounce of bad luck's worth even worse. The white line's been put out. The Bunbury Nissan Ute will lead the circuit. John Day begins to quicken the pace, and they are off and racing in the 1994 Bunbury Nissan Australian Modified Sedan Championship. And Bob Walling really turned up and gave Shane Martin a heavy knock. So right from the start, oh, and Marsden sent him around. So there they go. Bob Walling's knocked off the race, and they will have to put the caution lights on. Yes, they have, and they'll order a complete restart. A complete restart. Oh, Shane Martin said, well, Bob, you played it hard with me, and I'll play it hard with you. And what will the steward now? Yes, he's called a complete restart. There once again an ounce of luck's worth of fortune. Well, I'll tell you what, Wade, it hadn't completed one lap, so the rules are, if something goes wrong in the first lap, the race is completely restarted.
Con, I think the old adage, paybacks are hell, comes to mind pretty quickly, because there was some pretty heavy work, as you said, on the main straight. But the guys are probably so keyed up, they're probably so nervous, and I really do feel for them. You sense the excitement in the guys' voices down there.
Well, Bob Walling now saying a few words to Shane, as he has also been breathing a sigh of relief. It's 40 laps. You don't want to win it in the first. You want to be winning it on lap 40. So you've got to actually keep yourself clean, have fresh air in your face. Well, Shane Martin was to have the pole position. Now he's on the outside. So he has had the choice of where he wanted to start. Bob Walling's not happy. Whoops. Oh, these guys are towing. Oh, no! Oh, this is unbelievable. This is very, very sad. Come on, Bob. Bob Walling being told to slow down, show down, take a deep breath. Oh, Bob Walling's pointing fingers at him. And he's not exactly ordering one in the bar either, Kent. I think he's saying, I'm going to get that guy. Oh, now Brim's come up there to make it 3 wide.
A not so subtle message there from Ian Brims. I think he was saying, get on with it, guys.
Yeah, don't fool around. Bob Walling wasn't going to let him, not going to let him in. This is unusual. Now the other car from the second race, he's gone up alongside of Bob Walling and saying, come on, Bob, play the game. So something is erratically wrong. They have got the magnetic board out. Let's see, they're getting it right now. That's right. It's right now. It's all right, guys.
They're making me nervous.
That's right. Separate. They want you to stay a little bit wide apart. Bob Walling's not happy. Greg Walling's there to go on to protect his dad. Believe you me, this is going to be a tough one. Bob Walling knows what it is to win an Australian title. Shane Martin is about to taste it if he can stay in one piece for 40 grueling laps as Bunbury Nissan give you take 2 of the Australian Modified Sedan Championship. The Bunbury Nissan Ute leaves the track, as does General John Day. The green lights come on and Bob Walling takes the lead as Ian Prim's on the outside. Oh, they really absolutely mauled the West Australian driver as Ian Prim's on the outside now, thunders down the back straight and grabs second place right at the beginning. Bob Walling leading and Shane Martin shoves him out the road. Slip and slide, dip and dive. These men are out on a mission. 1 lap down in the Bunbury Nissan Australian Modified Sedan Championship. Bob Walling from New South Wales leads. Ian Brims from Queensland. Shane Martin from Western Australia. Back to Greg Walling from New South Wales. Alan Buckley from Western Australia. Philip Rose as the passing flag lap comes out already. 2 laps down and Buckley's gone off the side of the track and they have let the race go. Car number 14, that was Noel McGrath, the Victorian driver. Roughhouse Tactics. Digger Clark's a lap behind and he's going slower than you can, but he's out of turn number 4 and down the main straight. Bob Walling leads the Australian Modified Sedan Championship. Ian Brims looks very strong. Shane Martin in 3rd place. Greg Walling up in 4th place. Alan Buckley in 5th, and Philip Rose from Western Australia. Martin fights back. He gives Brim a bit of a shove in the back where his mother never ever kissed him. Out of turn number 4 they go once again. 5 laps down and 35 to go. Bob Walling, 2nd place man. Ian Brims back there to car number 7. Shane Martin in 3rd place. He gets at the back of Brims once again. So the Bunbury driver's got a very fast car. Bob Walling sitting in the hot seat. Out of turn number 4 once again. This is the Bunbury Nissan Australian Modified Sedan Championship Grand Final here at Bunbury City Speedway. Greg Walling hit the wall that time. A big cloud of smoke comes up from the back of the car. So the race is still a firecracker at the moment. The laps are ticking by and the cars that are out in front are making life very difficult for the back markers. Out of turn number 4, Bob Walling. Ian Brims in car number 36. Back to 7 is Shane Martin. Number 3 is Greg Walling. Then Alan Buckley, Philip Rose, Hancock, the WA champion. Then Johnson up there in car number 22 going well. Neil Johnson. The passing flag comes out. They have only completed 7 laps of this event and now Ian Brims is starting to make life very uncomfortable for the race leader Bob Walling as they go through the top turn once again. Plenty of action here at Bunbury City Speedway. This is the Bunbury Nissan Australian Modified Championship Grand Final. It's like a match race between Brims and Walling. They are mauling each other, that's all you can say. The passing flag comes out of the car number 21, Chris Overall from Victoria. Shane Martin still trying to stay in touch. Greg Walling's there going very well indeed. And as they come down the back straight, that's 9 laps. And Ian Brims has taken the lead and they come out of turn number 4 at the end of lap number 10.
What a race this has turned out to be. This could be very tough now for any of the field to catch Brims in the fast car. You can look and just see how much Walling was holding him up. Martin is back in 3rd, Greg Walling is 4th, Bill Rose for 5th, Hancock for 6th. Here comes Alan Buckley, Neil Johnson on the inside, Millman in there as well. Oh, Johnson going very sideways. Buckley nearly came undone. Johnson across the front of the field. Oh, Millman had nowhere to go. And the car is damaged on the right side. You can see it sitting down as they go into turn number 1. Millman refuses to be denied. Hanging on out there. Our race leader is still Ian Brims. Bob Walling back in 2nd place. Shane Martin for 3rd. Greg Walling for 4th. Back to Phil Rose. Steve Hancock, the state champion, the Cortina. humming around at the moment. Back to John Purser, Greg Oliver. This is a good scrap. Neil Johnson in there as well. Wayne Millman, Robbie Hungeon, Frank Doze, Glenn Smith, Daniel Jury, Noel McGrath about to be lapped, and this is where it will start to be interesting as they come up to lap traffic. This is where things could get hectic. Johnson is having an almighty battle with Richard Nelson, and Wayne Millman's in there as well. Look at this, here comes Sims like he's got a sonar strapped to the front of this car. All the traffic moving up. It's good to see everybody at least taking notice of the lapping flags they're being given as they get into the back straight once more. Brims, not much time to enjoy this at the moment. Oh, Johnson and Millman really going at it. Back in the field, the 22 car and the car number 8 having a great battle. Here comes Brims trying to lap the traffic now. Bob Walling will pounce if he's given half a chance. He's sitting right in his draft. As they go into turn number 3 for the final time, Con, this has got everything.
This is the halfway mark. 20 laps down and 20 to go. And Ian Brims from Queensland leads. Bob Morley from New South Wales. Shane Martin from WA and car number 7 in third place. Then back a long gap back there to Greg Warning, who starts to slow. Philip Rose is there. Hancock, the West Australian champions amongst them as well. A brilliant race. Now 21 laps completed. 19 to go in the Bunbury Nissan Australian Modified Sedan Championship for 1994. One car is Fishy Toledo up on the bench, but the race continues. The freight train is absolutely on. It is an awesome sight. Rose has grabbed Greg Morling second place. Hancock's behind him. So West Australian still staying in touch. Talento in 27th, a lap behind. Here he goes. Ian Brims now going there in car number 36. By G's kept the pressure on. Bob Morling right behind him. Long gap back then to Shane Martin. And then back then to our next man through, Philip Rose and Hancock. Still a brilliant race. The Queenslander Brims has done a wonderful job. He hasn't put a wheel wrong in car number 36. Ian Brims from Queensland. Neil Johnson's all over the road like a mad woman. Frank Doze kisses the fence. Third place man Shane Martin took a hard deep breath. Philip Rose from Bunbury's up in fourth place, and fifth place is Marriage's Hancock. The race is an absolute firecracker. Out of turn number 4, Ian Brims goes. Bob Morley's right on his tailpipes once again. So here they come once again. The freight train's there. Neil Johnson tries to race him. Oh, that's not very good, young Neil. And they go down the back straight, past the sign in the back straight. It's half hours now as they go, and really and truly turning up some absolutely unbelievable fireworks into the final stages. Car number 36. Oh, and here we go. As the race car has come up against the fence, the caution orders go. Caution lights are on. Young Digger Clark, and I suppose Ian Brims would be a sigh of relief there, because now the field will go nose to tail, Wade, and it'll probably take him another 5 or 6 laps before he will get into it.
Yeah, you'll stay.
Leads. Bob Morling from New South Wales in second place. Shane Martin, Western Australia, third. Phil Rose, Western Australia in fourth position. Trevor Hancock, no, it's not Trevor Hancock, it's WA1. And that is young Hancock is the race leader. He's not in fourth place, I beg your pardon. Alan Buckley's there too, but I think he had been passed, but I will have to leave that. So here they go, the green lights go on. Ian Brims is leading. Now they go into the top turn. As you know, the field is always sorted out. The lap cars are left in the position. So Ian Brims from Queensland now settles down to do some great racing. Our chief steward's wearing a Brims hat, so it'll be interesting to see if he's going to bring this guy luck. Brims' car is very fast. Here we have 20 laps to go. Out of turn 2, Ian Brims back to Bob Morley, back there to Shane Martin. This is the Bunbury Nissan Australian Modified Sedan Championship for 1994. A little bit of dust starts to rise, so the track's drying out, so the cars are working very hard. The tyres are getting hot. Another car, and it's Philip Rose. Oh, don't tell me he has lost a tyre. He has stopped dramatically. Now it is the nerves that will be coming in now, Wade, as the cars are starting to feel the pressure and about to break after 2 big nights of Speedway.
Will Wayne Millman have enough cordial to finish the race?
I tell you what, he brims with confidence, let's just put it that way.
That's right, he does. So, 20 grueling laps left to go in the Bunbury Nissan 1994 Australian Modified Sedan Championship Grand Final. Here at the Bunbury City Speedway, Hancock's up in 4th place. The Witch's Hat brings the drivers into position and away they go. Out of turn number 4 now and thundering down the main straight. Ian Brims, back to Bob Morley, back to Shane Martin, and Hancock's now starting to come right in touch. So the West Australian champion, the boy from Narrogin, Greg Morning's going back through the field. He's found the pressure a little bit too tough on him at the moment. Now Bob Morling starts to fight back. Out of turn number 4, 19 laps left to go. So Bob Morling, and Ian Brims has run out of noise. He's run out of noise, the Queenslander. Something's broken. Martin on the outside in grabs second. Hancock's up in 3rd. Oh, what a vicious blow to the Queenslander. He was running so hot. So Bob Morling now leads the race. 18 laps left to go. Bob Morling from Victoria leading. Back there to number 7, Shane Martin. Back to number 1 from Western Australia, Hancock. Alan Buckley's amongst them too. And Wayne Millman still drinking his cordial and going hard. They thunder down the back straight. The track is absolutely alive at the moment. The adrenaline's are pumping and the hearts are thumping. Out of turn number 4, no place for pussycats, no place for the weak at heart. These are brave men of Speedway, and they race like there's no tomorrow. Bob Morley, Shane Martin's doing a wonderful job in 2nd place. 3rd place man still Hancock. So Bob Morley hasn't got it all his own way at the moment. They come out of turn 4 down the main straight. Number 4, Walling going for Australian title. Number 3, Martin, number 7 from WA. In 2nd place, plenty of action still. The laps are ticking by, and 25 down and 15 to go. So this is a real marathon event as they thunder out of turn number 4. Clean air in Bob Morling's face as Shane Martin 2nd place, then back to Hancock. Back to car number 32 going very well indeed. Richard Nelson from Western Australia. And we find Millman in there still battling hard. Alan Buckley's there. Neil Johnson's back in the fray and working hard. Out of turn 4. Now they're really working. 14 laps left to go. 14 loading laps for Bob Morley. The man from New South Wales is now must be realising just how hard it is to stay in front of the Bunbury Nissan Australian Modified Sedan Championship for 1994. Will he make it? Title number 3. He looks very strong. He's going from strength to strength. Shane Martin's worked hard. The Hillsbreaker car's looking good. Oh, they've lost the front end. Car number 14's lost the front end, and that's Noel McGrath, the Victorian. Dreams are being made, but dreams are shattering here at the moment. This is an unbelievable, punishing race as they come out of turn number 4 once again. The claw to the floor, and he's going for Mob. They're 28 down with now 12 laps left to go. Coming out of turn number 2, Bob Morling working hard. Martin's going up the fence, he's starting to tire. Hancock's starting to pour the pressure on. Out of turn number 4, 29 laps down, 11 to go. This is the Bunbury Nissan Australian Modified Sedan Championship. Bob Morling looks strong, very powerful, a very good driver as he comes down the back straight and comes into that turn once again. It's Bob Morling from Victoria, in Martin from Western Australia, and then Hancock. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with the final 10 laps of the Bunbury Nissan Australian Modified Sedan Championship, over to you, Wade.
What an absolute marathon. Leading at the moment. He's done it twice before, and he's chasing number 3 tonight. Shane Martin at times has looked to be closing him down, and at other times he seems to be dropping away. Hancock a distant 3rd. Richard Nelson's been driving hard. Wayne Millman too. Back to Neil Johnson, Alan Buckley. We go back to Rob Hungins, Frank Doze, Glenn Smith. But our race leader, Bob Walling, it'll only be a matter now of whether he can stay up to it. The car will keep running cool. That will probably prove the difference. If Walling's car can continue without any problems, we have no more restarts, then the New South Welshman, the likeable New South Welshman from, well, a man who's won 5 state titles, and there's a problem. It looks like it may well be Hancock. It is. What a race of upsets. Steve Hancock pulls the Cortina up in Catalano corner. Oh, this race has had everything. There's our first and second. Walling and Martin. There's 9 laps left in this. In fact, when you look at it, Bob Walling is taking on the entire West Coast contingent on his own. The other stars have found they're going tough. Barrow the Cat will be sitting up straight in the transporter waiting for this one. Walling initiates the start. Martin didn't quite pick it. They come out of turn number 4. This is all happening now. 9 laps to go. Neil Johnson goes high. There's a problem with the 22 car. Walling into the race lead once more. Martin up to second. Billman is holding down third. We're told Nelson is possibly a lap down and flat right front tyre for Neil Johnson. As they come off turn number 4, our race leader, the New South Welshman, Bob Walling, the Builders Fresh Bred V6 Commodore. Martin has thrown absolutely everything at him. At this stage, it's all to no avail. Look at Greg Walling pacing the infield. He wants his dad to win this. This would be title number 3. Martin's got a problem. Martin is retiring. The Sigma has cried enough. Oh, what bad luck for Shane Martin. The battle goes on for the minors, but Shane Martin, a retirement. Just look at this racing going on here at this 40-lap punishing final. Walling is still leading. Millman up to second place. It's been a good run from him. Richard Nelson hanging on to third at this stage. We'll confirm that with you. Martin is going to stop. Shane Martin is going to stop coming out of turn number 2. This could bring the yellows back on. Well, will he be able to get through on the inside and pull the car off the circuit? 5 to go and the yellow lights are on. Hungens doze. Glenn Smith, you got to be in it to win it. We had 24 cars start. We've lost 18. Still 6 laps to go. Look at Millman. Got the cotties pouring through his veins out there, Ken. Going into turn number 3. Here we go. Millman looks for the inside run. Oh, Walling's got a problem. Walling has got a problem. The car was very slow through the turns. And Wayne Millman was right onto his tail. This is going to be a thriller. Nelson's in third. Hungens in there. Doze and Glenn Smith down the back straight. What a race this has been. Millman running the half-track run, doing it with a flat left front tyre. 5 laps left to go and Millman on a charge. Oh, you can't take it away from Bob Walling. What a great driver he is. He's a little bit older than most of the guys in this field, but he's also a little bit smarter when it comes to race track craft. He's been doing it a while. The Builders Fresh Bred Commodore seems to be running pretty cool. Millman up on a half-track run. This battle with Richard Nelson was outstanding earlier on. Onto the main straight. 4 laps left to travel. Walling still in front. The Collie Mitsubishi Sigma of Wayne Millman, a hard charger, trying to break the Bunbury hoodoo. Hasn't snared a main event here at Bunbury. This would be an absolute beauty to come home to. Richard Nelson up in third, has driven very consistently. Rob Hungens holding on for 4th at this stage as Nelson drifts a little bit high on the track. Well, race going on. Walling still very well in control. Only a handful of laps left in this one. 2 laps left to go. And Walling drifting a little bit high, but he skipped away. This would be the longest 2 laps of Bob Walling's life. Wayne Millman holding on for second. Richard Nelson and Rob Hungens make a late charge. Walling's almost lost it. He had a moment then. He nearly threw the Australian title out the window of the Commodore. He almost had a moment. 1 lap left to go. Bob Walling, the veteran from New South Wales, on the main straight. Here we go. This is where it's pressure time. Walling knows he's only going to point this thing in the right direction. He butts off a little, coming out of turn number 2. Well, he's a tough old bird and he drives exceptionally well. Bob Walling from New South Wales into the final turn. Will he keep it together? Yes, he does. Come on, Bunbury. What a great drive. He takes the win and he's absolutely elated. Wayne Millman, what an outstanding run. Richard Nelson just for third. Hungens for fourth. Frank Doze back to Glenn Smith. Well, come on, ladies and gentlemen. How about the drive from Wayne Millman? One flat tyre for the last 15, 20 laps, and he managed to do it. Greg Walling's absolutely stoked down on the infield, wrapped with his dad performance. Here they come, race fans. Have a look at this. Put your hands together for him. Bob Walling, the winner, and Wayne Millman by no means disgraced. Here comes the Australian flag, and Bob Walling, an outstanding competitor, professional, well prepared. The checker and the Australian flag, if he doesn't get blinded as he goes through turn number 1 and 2. What a great drive. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for him in the bar. A very tough driver, and didn't he do it well? Stayed second top point scorer after night number 1. Came back strongly, was always a threat, had to survive that earlier incident with Ian Brims. They were racing very hard. And down the back straight, let's hear it for him, Bob Walling. What a champion driver he is. Everybody's starting to arrive on the infield now. Everybody pretty pleased about just finishing 40 punishing laps at Bunbury Speedway. There's the time for the last 6 laps, 2 minutes 8.49. The last lap went down at a 21.49. The fast one on lap 10, 20.39. As he comes on the main straight, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the new Australian Modified Sedan champion, Bob Walling. And Greg went out to give him a big handshake and nearly got run over. There's the Fielder's Fresh Bread car, covered in the Australian flag and the checker. Down amongst all the gang is Con Migro, who's moving in amongst the crew.
And to present third place trophy, Richard Nelson, ladies and gentlemen, who I can tell you what, I just said to him, don't dare buy a lotto. All the luck you've had, son, has just gone. Jump up on the back of the ute, Richard, because his front end snapped off as he went across the line to present the third place. Graham, I'm glad you've come here tonight, and I hope you've enjoyed the Speedway racing.
Thank you very much. It is a pleasure on behalf of everyone to present this trophy this evening. But before I do that, I would like to thank the organisers for a grand championship we've had here in Bunbury. And those drivers who have taken part, thanks to you for a good show. We particularly thank those who have come from a long way, those from Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria. Thank you for coming. Have a good, safe journey home. God bless.
Richard, a very exciting night at Speedway for you, young man.
Yeah, we just made it across the line, but we hung in there. That's great. I'd like to thank the sponsors, Pit Crew, Roy and Gary, and all the Augusta Margaret River Speedway mobs for helping me get here.
Stay here, young man. Great on you. Stay on the back of the ute. Wayne Millman, ladies and gentlemen, this man drove the race 35 of the 40 laps with the left front tyre flat. Come on, put your hands together. Graham, would you please present the second place award to him as well as Doug Carson. Graham. Congratulations. Wayne. Wayne, an outstanding effort, and you'd have to be very proud of yourself.
Yeah, I'm very pleased. I'd like to thank all my sponsors, Collie Mitsubishi, Collie Tyre Power, Collie Caltech Service Station, Retrovision Collie, Quality Platers and all district signs. And also I'd like to thank Alan Blake and Bunbury Nissan for putting this meeting on. Thanks very much.
Wayne, what was in that plastic bottle with the cord? Could you tell the fans what you were actually doing in the race?
Yeah, I was drinking lemon water all the way around.
There we are. So stay on the back of the ute. And ladies and gentlemen, the third place for you, Richard, there was the trophy just behind you. And ladies and gentlemen, the Australian National Champion for 1994, would you please put your hands together from New South Wales, Mr. Bob Walling, who has done an outstanding performance here this weekend on the front row, and your blue sash, Bob. He gets a commemorative jacket and the trophy, which is the first place trophy. And Bob, we were talking to you before the race, and you said that a lot of the NASCAR drivers are in their 50s because they've got more brains and they drive a lot better, and you certainly proved that tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you, Con. I'd like to first thank my pit crew for doing a tremendous job. Next, I'd like to thank Alan and Nolene. I think Alan, Blake and Nolene have done a tremendous job of putting this show on. They've looked up after competitors, they've had phone calls after phone calls, and they have never turned anybody back. They've done a tremendous job. To Alan and Nolan, congratulations, and you got my respect and anything I can do for you. To Bunbury Nissan, thanks for putting on a great effort. The people in Bunbury have supported us tremendously. Toyota, the Quick boys down there gave us every bit of assistance. And everybody in Bunbury's been great to us. Thank you, people. I hope we can come back again to you all. Thank you.
Bob, and also now your jacket that you will wear, and everyone in Australia now knows that you are the national champion. Howard, would you like to come around here, Howard, because we could have a few words to say to you. It's been a huge effort from your company, and on behalf of not only Bunbury Speedway, but Speedway in Western Australia and Speedway in this country, thank you very much indeed for your company's tremendous support of a fine Australian sport. I'd like to say that a lot of people don't realise, but Speedway is an Australian sport. It originated here, and Bunbury have played a huge part in the history of the sport, and your company tonight has advanced the signs of Speedway, what it's all about, what we all are involved in it for. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks very much, Con. Yes, on behalf of Bunbury Nissan, the Bunbury Car Club, Alan and Nolan Blake, we'd sincerely like to thank everybody that turned up tonight and on Tuesday night, all the competitors that competed, and of course the 3 winners here tonight. Thanks very much, Con.
Thank you, Howard. And ladies and gentlemen, the National President, Mr. Doug Carson. He's a Victorian, but we've just about adopted him as a West Australian. Another sensational night of speedway racing in the southwest of Western Australia, and I'm sure that your federation would have to be very proud of the organisational ability that's in this state and the standard of the tracks.
Yes, Con, excellent. I've been over here 3 times in the last 6 months to various meetings, and this one's really topped it off. It was an excellent night tonight. Tuesday night was fabulous. There was good racing in all the heats. And the only unfortunate part about tonight's was the amount of cars we lost in the final. But by hell, whilst they were there, it was really good racing. Just on behalf of the Federation, I'd like to present this. It's a 20-year-old trophy to Bob Walling. It's a perpetual trophy. His name is on it. He won it in 1986. He won it again in 1992. He came second last year in 1993, and now he's going to have his name on it again 1994. Bob, you've almost got the thing home and hosed. Here it is again for another 12 months, the Australian Saloon Car Federation Championship Trophy.
Ladies and gentlemen, what about 3 cheers for 3 great drivers? Hip hip! Come on a bit louder, hip hip! Hip hip! Bob, congratulations once again.
Thank you very much, Con, and thanks to all the competitors, and once again, thanks to the Bunbury City and to Alan and Nolan. Tremendous race.